Hello there, Pisces. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of May the 23rd through the 29th. We are going to be pulling one card for each day to get the highlights, and we'll see if there's any kind of theme through the week. So far this week, most signs have had a theme, so that's been very interesting and fun. I can definitely tell that Pluto is doing its thing, asking us to purge. That has been a theme that's come up a lot this time too. So let's see what comes up for your cards. In the meanwhile, I am going to tell you this is a general reading, so not everything that shows up here will actually apply to every single Pisces who watches this video. However, most of it will apply to most of you. If you guys have questions that you would like answered, or if you want to know more about this reading, but you don't want everybody else's energy on it too, feel free to set up a private reading with me. All you have to do is reach out to me. All my contact information is on the website at the top of the screen. And once you reach out, we'll just get you scheduled and taken care of. Okay, so let's look at your weekend cards first, Pisces, and we'll look at the weekend, and then we'll come over to the weekdays, I should say. So Saturday, we have the 8 of Swords showing up. And then Sunday, oh, we have another 8. Oh, 8 of Cups in reverse. All right. All right. Okay, Pisces, so here's the thing. With this 8 of Swords showing up on Saturday, this just tells me that you are thinking in circles about something and you're having a hard time coming to a conclusion about what you want to do with the situation that has you second guessing yourself and thinking in circles. All right. So there's some real insight when this card comes up. This card basically tells us that wherever we're feeling limited or restricted in this situation, that's because of our own perception on it. We're telling ourselves something that's limiting and not allowing ourselves to move forward. This can be an old paradigm or some old programming, but once we actually can look at the situation objectively, then we can see where we've been limiting ourselves and then we can move forward. So what's the best way to do that? The best way to do that is to imagine having a conversation with somebody who is objective. Maybe your favorite cashier at the grocery store. Just imagine having that conversation with this person and imagine what her reaction might be to the words that you're saying. And a lot of times, even as we're imagining that conversation and we're imagining what words we would use to describe this situation, just hearing them, especially if we say them out loud, but just hearing them in our own mind, it kind of makes things click for us. It's almost like now that we're hearing it, we're able to look at it a little more objectively and we see where we're limiting ourselves, and it's just that easy. Sometimes, though, we have to do more than an imaginary conversation. Sometimes, if that doesn't work, then you want to have a conversation with somebody who's not all entangled in the middle of this mess that has you second guessing yourself and double thinking and thinking in circles. Find somebody objective to actually talk to about this and watch their facial expressions, watch their body language. Listen to the words that they say as a reaction to this as you're explaining it. And that's going to help you to really see the whole situation more objectively so that you can come up with a solution that you can be comfortable settling on rather than thinking in circles and second guessing it. Okay? So that's your advice on that one on Saturday. I hate to see people coming up thinking in circles like that. It just makes them feel trapped and entangled and paralyzed. It's not cool at all. And then on Sunday, we have the 8 of Cups coming up in reverse. Now, the 8 of Cups in reverse tells me that there's a situation that you walked away from in the past because it left you feeling depleted or exhausted. And so you walked away from it. You're really done, just done. So now, with the 8 of Cups in reverse, what's going on is now you're walking right back into that situation, hopefully with a plan to make things work out better, hopefully not just feeling compelled to because of old programming, but walking back into that situation in the hopes that things will work out better. Okay, so that's what we've got going on for the weekend. And yes, that situation could be a relationship, could also be an employer-employee type relationship, friendship, Could be that maybe you haven't been talking to a family member for a long time and you're deciding, well, let me try this. Let me see how this conversation goes. Or it could be somebody else. Maybe that's toxic. That now you're walking back to that relationship thinking, well, they're in a better space now. Good luck. Now let's look at the week. So we're starting with Monday, Ace of Pentacles. I like that card. I think it's really pretty too. And then Tuesday we have the Tower. I know y'all are not too happy about the Tower. Just calm down. It's just the beginning of a story with a happy ending. Then we also have the Nine of Swords. Not really unexpected after the Tower, but we're going to do some things to sort of change that while we're doing this reading. And then we have the Transition card in reverse. Yes, I know, it actually says death. I would never name a card that. What were they thinking? It's the Transition card in reverse. And then we have Cernunnos showing up at the end. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so don't quote me on that title, but that's what we have. So that's how I say it anyway. I've been saying it for a long time, for years. All right, let's dive into some card meanings here. Monday, Ace of Pentacles. You could be receiving a gift or an opportunity. Isn't that just such a pretty card? I love that card. I'm not sure if it's sunrise or sunset, but you're receiving a gift or an opportunity here. Maybe it's sunrise if it's a gift, huh? Or an opportunity. That would be a new beginning. So sunrise would be appropriate. Yep. And there's even a little bear here on this card. I'm seeing that bear as like a protector. There's protection around this gift or this opportunity. Ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba. Let's look at Tuesday. You have the Tower card. Now, just because you got the Ace of Pentacles the day before makes me wonder if you're not shaking the Tower. I actually want to look at that. You could be the one bringing the Tower down. Let's find out. Is Pisces the one actually bringing this Tower down on Tuesday? La da 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 da, la da da da, uh-huh. I thought so. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Look at you guys. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, Pisces. So, look at this. You have your gift or opportunity that shows up on Monday. The Tower on Tuesday. That gift or opportunity kind of clued me in. Oh, well, maybe they're the one shaking the Tower. Usually the Tower comes down because of external influences, but sometimes we can shake that because we look at what's going on around us and we're like, whoa, this is not good for me. I have no room to grow here, no room to breathe here. I got to get out of this Tower. It's suffocating me. And so you make the changes. And I think that's what's going on. I think you were just waiting for this gift or this opportunity to realize, I'm able to do this now. I'm free enough to make the changes I need to make with the Tower. So the Tower is something that probably did bring you some stability and security at one point, but it was built on a faulty foundation. So there were things that were not okay, even when you were inside this Tower feeling safe. Now, what's interesting about this is that the day after you're causing a shakeup in your world, you're changing some things majorly. Now we see you with the Nine of Swords all stressed out. All stressed out. Because when we shake that Tower, man, when we go through a change that big, it wouldn't be natural if you weren't a little bit scared about it. Maybe a lot scared about it. That just wouldn't be natural. Doesn't mean don't do it, though. It just means get some education, figure out some things so that you can move forward in a way that's for your highest and best good. Now, whenever I clarified the Tower, I think this Tower probably has to do, I'm not sure. Could have to do with work, or it could have to do with a significant romantic relationship. Yeah, okay. Here's what we got when we clarified the tower. First of all, we have rebirth and reverse. This says, I have the opportunity to go back to something from the past, but I'm not doing it. So once you shake this tower, you're not trying to rebuild the rubble. Justice card in reverse can talk about a divorce. Or if you're not married, it can talk about coming together in a relationship or coming apart in a relationship where maybe you've been living together or you had some other kind of long-term commitment with this person. You know, sometimes people have long-term commitments and they don't live in the same house. Our culture is really evolving. So, but this talks about ending that long-term commitment. So maybe somebody is asking you, hey, can we end our separation? And you're saying, no, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty happy with this separation. Let's make it official that this is over with that Justice card coming up in reverse. Now, Pisces, we've got a King of Cups here. This is what makes me think that this may be a significant other. I don't actually have a Lovers. That makes me kind of question that. But this is somebody who does care about you a lot, that you're ending this relationship with, and possibly, you know, and making it official when you end it, even if that's a divorce. The other thing it could be, though, it could be a work situation that you're ending. And this person, when he comes up as the King of Cups, this could be a boss saying, hey, but we really need you. Like you're integral. You're an integral part to the team. It's funny, I think either Capricorn or Aquarius was going through something very similar. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles talks about working on things. I think you've got your person saying, if this is a romantic relationship that you're coming out of, this is your person saying, well, we can work on things. I can do things better. I mean, if they're sincere, that's great. But if they've said that before and you've seen the results, maybe not so great. Okay? And we have the World card coming up in reverse. This kind of makes me feel like whatever this situation is, whether this is a boss saying we can make things better, we can pay you a little bit more, we can adjust your bonus structure, or whether this is a spouse or a significant other saying, you know, I can do better in the relationship. This tells me that you're not totally gone yet. Like it's just not over yet. All right? And I think that's why you're stressing out here. You're stressing out because, well, I made this decision and I started to make some moves on it. But now this other party is saying, well, they can change things and make things better. Now what do I do? That's where the stress comes in. Here's what we've got here. We have the Death card coming up in reverse. So I would call this a transition card. But when this card comes up in reverse, it says that you're not making any changes. Okay? So this card clarifying the Tower says it isn't over just as soon as you shake that tower. It's not done yet. And then we see you stressing out. What should I do? Should I go back on what I just did, or should I continue forward on the path? I don't know. You do know. You're just afraid right now in that moment with those Nine of Swords. This card is telling me you're not going back. You're continuing forward. You're holding your ground. You're not letting anybody manipulate you into getting you to go back. You might have had second thoughts. You might have really questioned yourself about the idea of shaking everything up. But I don't see you actually going back. Not this time. And then we have Sonunios on Friday. This talks about facing our fears. This talks about, yeah, you're not going back, but now you're kind of really scared of the situation that you're in now. And so now you have to face some fears. And to face those fears, you basically just want to ask yourself, okay, well, I'm there. I've already done it. I'm there. What's the worst case scenario? What's the worst that could happen to me here? And then ask yourself, first of all, is that even a rational fear? Sometimes we have fears that are not rational. And if it's not, then okay, you're kind of done. Like you just disarm this thing as soon as you're seeing that it's not even a rational fear. But if it is a rational fear, then the next question is, well, what's the worst case scenario? What would be the worst that could possibly happen? Okay. And you don't stop asking questions there because that will scare the holy crud out of you right at first. But then you ask yourself, okay, well, if the worst case scenario actually happened, what would I do about that? And as you have this plan of, even if worst case scenario happened, there are options, there are things I could do, then that helps you to realize that when this fear shows up, the sky isn't falling. You're just growing. You're just stretching into that new person that you need to be now. And so you can't let the fear get you all twisted up. You just have to recognize that, you know what? Maybe that would happen. But if it does happen, it's not like I'm helpless. I've got things I can do. All right. And I'm not saying that the worst case scenario is going to happen. Please don't put words in my mouth that I didn't say. I'm saying this is how you face down a fear. You look at it, good and solid. What is the worst case scenario? What would I do about it? That's how you face down a fear. Doesn't mean the worst case scenario is happening. Just means you're settling yourself. You're calming yourself so that you can move forward in a grounded way and not all tripped out about silliness. Okay? Because fear, what is fear? False. What's the E? I forget what the E is. Let's just say false energies. False energies appearing real. But the trip is, it's false. It can appear real as long as it wants to. So what? When you get to the bones of it, it's completely untrue. Okay? So that's what I've got for you, Pisces. It looks like you're making some pretty earth-shattering changes here. And it looks to me like they're for the good, and you know they're for the good. And I think that you also, I think part of the reason that you're stressing here is because you know that you're kind of afraid of these changes. But you're moving in the right direction. And so I don't want you to continue second guessing yourself on this stuff like we saw you at the beginning of the week. And in fact, it looks like you may have left before, whatever the situation is, and then thought in circles about it until you ended up coming back. Well, maybe I'll try it again. Maybe it wasn't that bad. Then somebody gave you that gift or opportunity. Then you tried to burn your bridge. Then you stressed out about it. Then you decided, nope, I'm holding my own. I have a good plan. I need to move forward with it. New level, new devil. Now you're facing a different fear. So, and when I say new level, new devil, like all of us, as we go through life and we conquer certain things, because each of us has our own struggles as we go. Each of us has our own things that we need to grow through. And as we conquer each thing, it's kind of like a video game. Oh, I can handle that now. That doesn't stress me out anymore. Well, guess what? Now we're at the next level. We're playing at the next level. We've got a new skill level here because now we don't let those things get to us. And so now that we're at that next level, guess what? Now we have next level challenges. You know? So just like when a business grows, when a business is just, like me, just one person, my only challenge is me. If I had a business that was at, 5 or 10 employees, I would be at a different level and I would have the next level challenges of the different things that come up when you have multiple employees that you have to keep herding into the same goals and the same targets. So this is no different in your life. You're just actually ascending to the next level of play here where you've conquered this level. And so this fear is just like, oh, I don't know if I can handle this next level. Yes, you can. You've already beat the previous level. Of course you can. You've got this. Okay? All right, so that's what we have for you this week, Pisces. I'm sure some of you are going to want readings to help you kind of find your way through this situation. I would be honored and delighted to read for you, so please reach out to me. All my contact information is on the website right there. Also, if you want to sign up for my newsletter, that way you get specials that only my newsletter subscribers get. You want to check out my homepage, scroll all the way down, and you'll see the sign up form there. Everybody have a fantastic week, and if I don't see you here before the next video, then I will see you next time around. Peace.